out in June of 2020.
Girl, I was just about to say that, like, right after.
It's just a coincidence, though. When I brought that up during that time,
How they
people in our
insult
algorithm
intelligence.
that are like seemingly pro WEF or something. I don't know. They were like
Happy's
justifying
relevant.
it all. Yeah, they were justifying it all. Oh, well, I think it was Happy that was when we were talking
Happy
about the
had
book.
no idea what WEF was.
It doesn't take that
It's
long to write a
Happy,
book.
right? Like, so he didn't know what WEF was. I remember me saying about it, right? He didn't know what it was. All of a sudden, now he's an expert. When I say, listen, I've been actually, like, I remember catching him, like, knowing you have no clue who they are. Like, I said, have you ever watched any of their lectures in Davos? He's like, where? I'm like, in Davos. Every year they do lectures. Like, you've never watched, whatever. Happy can't stand me because I always got something to nail him with, right?
Same.
And he now he's like, oh, you got to go to the WEF website. And the WEF is great. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Man, first time I ever heard of WEF is when I saw that little video back in like, first time I saw it was in 2020 or 2021 or something, but it was made in 2016 or 18. And remember, it was the one where it's like, you'll own nothing and be happy. These are like the agenda for 2030. You'll own nothing and be happy. You'll have everything delivered to your door by drone. You won't have to get a heart transplant. We can print it.
They literally had, you'll own nothing and be happy with a good-looking young white guy on all the bus shelters downtown. I'm like, the fuck?
Conditioning. It's conditioning. It's programming. That's what they're doing. They're programming you. 15-minute cities are all about that too. They said that there will be a lot of civil unrest because of mass migration due to climate change, they said.
Of course.
So they're blaming all this mass immigration shit on climate change. And there's a lot of everything that was about like how people are going to like take to the streets and protest. They called that. And it's happening right now. It literally, like what we're seeing on our screens with these protests, these mass protests and shit, is exactly what they said was going to happen.
Yep.
These things because it's a liability thing. Because if they don't tell you this shit, even if it's through like, predictive programming and all that shit, or they just tell you outright, but it sounds so crazy that you're like, whatever, that's not believable.
They know that the majority of people have the memory of a goldfish too. So
that's why they've traumatized us with all these crazy events. Like, it hasn't even been a year since Trump was attempted to be assassinated and actually hit with a bullet, and everyone they fucking dragged out the Will Smith slap longer than they dragged that one out. With the assassination attempt, and because we've just been bombarded with trauma.
Think about this app. It's literally like, if you're a scroller,
it like takes your day away.
You were literally watching maximum 3 minutes of content, right? And that's another thing to grab your short attention span, and no one wants to watch a 2-hour documentary.
Yep. Like, it conditioned us to have short attention spans for sure.
Yeah, Candace Owens just released this afternoon Know the Truth About Justin Bieber, and it's a bit of Michael Jackson stuff, and I'm going to watch that in a little while.
Nice.
But then my brain is like, I got to see what's on TikTok, so I pause my TV and I'm checking on and sometimes
I do that too.
Nope, I'm putting it away and I'm not focusing on this stupid app for like the rest of the night, and I'll do it.
It's crazy that so on TikTok you can post up to like 40 minutes or 45 minutes of footage now. Yeah. Might be an hour. I don't know. Maybe I don't know yet. An hour, yeah. But so if you post an hour-long video, people will be like, "Oh, this is too long. I'm not watching it." But if you break that up into like
parts,
if you break that into like fucking 100 fucking videos or 30 videos or something, they'll watch it. You watch it because it's just like, oh, I need to know what happens next.
Click on the thing and it says just viewed, and then you can go to part 2 or part 3, or you're like, oh, I got to know the beginning. So you click and go to part 1. I'm like, oh my God.
And how much time are you spending trying to find that first and second part, right? So it's like, and then you end up on YouTube trying to find the whole thing. And you go down rabbit holes, and that's what I found myself. I'm like, what the fuck am I, like, I could just go on YouTube and watch this in full.
Yep.
But that's another way to realize you've been trained.
My explanation made sense, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Because I was like,
no, I got what you were saying. No worries.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah, I just wanted to address some things. I know I've got people blocked, but I also know that they're watching right now anyway,
yeah.
so they might as
They
well just
got-
come up and talk to me under
Yeah,
the
we'll
accounts
know.
are watching.
We'll know who was reporting and what reporting and recording and watching. Because at one point there was 20 at the highlight, so that's good because they see your thing. What do you call it? Like that. Here's something outrageous about me, you know. So let's see what happens.
I just want them to shut up.
Yep.
I'm not coming after these people. I'm not fucking poking at them. I'm not antagonizing them.
Nope.
I don't know why they feel the need to speak about me every single day. And while
The
at the same time
obsession-
saying, well, when they stop talking about me, I'll stop talking about them. And it's like, bitch, I haven't talked about you for so fucking long. I don't respond to you. Your stuff's public, so I'm going to fucking watch it if it's public.
Yeah.
Tough shit. Go on Zoom or on some other
And
platform if you
talk
don't
about
want
me,
it.
I'm obviously going to do clapbacks or whatever.
Well,
like,
but I have to. Sometimes I feel the need to keep up because it's like, well, what's she going to say today? What am I going to have to prepare
Exactly.
myself for? Because
Like-
she just sits there and says things, and then her dumbass fucking. I wouldn't even say friends because they're not real friends. These enablers that are hanging out with her, they're just soaking it up.
your name is on her lips nonstop, and you've literally never had a one-on-one with her in like ages. She probably knows the exact date and time.
Samantha
Am
is
I?
evil doses. I agree. I think I'm getting blamed for all this crazy shit. She's taking so many things out of context, omitting information that puts things more in perspective. She'll just say some random thing without like all the other information. Because if she adds all the other information around it, then she's got no story. She's got nothing to complain about because she'll be incriminating herself.
That's why I said what I said a little while ago, because I was holding it in. I was like, there was different points of time, you know, like, remember I told you I had ulterior motives for why I was going with Samantha's live rate, like the past.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember.
That wasn't necessarily the reason why, like that specific information I gave here, but I always knew that, like, I just had to fucking see. It took me longer than most. Like, listen, if we all have paid attention to fucking, what's her name? Shani Shenanigans from the fucking beginning.
She's cool as fuck.
Right?
She's really pulled herself out of this bullshit. I'm proud
That's
of
what
her.
I'm saying. Like, and other people, like even Blitz, like, just don't pay them no mind. Well, it's finally happening. We're
But
not.
it's not
like,
that easy, and I also had to learn a lot on my own too, right? That's what, like, you can ask Lisa Bella, you can ask Doses. Like, I got nasty to get people to fuck away from me. I lost my mind, girl, but y'all just didn't see it. And that's how I know I can trust these bitches, is because when I say I lost my fucking mind, I mean I lost my fucking mind. But I
Yeah.
did it behind the scenes.
See, I lost my shit in regards to a few of these fucking lefties and absorbed in what I did with her and all that, right? But it was therapeutic for me. I did what I did. I made my posts. I scared her off the app. Yes, I did. I did not scare Aminal off the app. That was his stupid rap videos and shit with Isaac. Never. I don't claim the fame of scaring him off the app. However, I am happily glad I did with Absorb, but it,
That you just worded that.
I'm like, it's like I've been wondering where that dude's been at. I'm so like unaware, but I haven't seen him in forever.
he's in the background. I don't talk
Okay.
about him. I kind of told Doses, like, you know, I won't talk about him. But in regards to that, I'm going to say it. Like, I'm not going to start talking shit about the guy. But, like, the fact remains, I didn't. People blame me for it. I own it with Absorb One. I don't hate. I don't.
But then if they run somebody on our side off the app, they're cheering and calling us
Right.
all cowards and weak and making fun of us and still
That's
talking
right.
shit about
And
us
I'll
even when
never
we're
be
not on the app.
apologetic for what I did to Absorb One.
No, he didn't have a backbone. I remember the first time I met him. Like,
Who?
when I say Aminal.
Aminal.
Like, I remember this was eons ago. I didn't even know he had any connection to anybody, and I was scrolling through. He was on a live, and like he was allowing this poor girl who none of you know, to get dogpiled. And I sent him a private message and I said, that was not fucking cool. I'm not, are you listening to me, Doses? Like, don't tell me. I've never spoken ill of him. I'm telling a story. Thank you.
Yeah, I want to hear it.
So this was eons ago. And I was actually going to say something nice. If you could actually fucking listen. Thank you. Not you, by the way.
Just take a breath, guys. We don't need to get confrontational.
Sometime, Doses.
We don't need to get confrontational, though. Just like she's protective of her friends, so I understand where she's coming from. But I understand where you're coming from too.
I want to hear
trying to tell a story.
Like, listen to me as a anyways. Okay, so
continue your story, and I want to know who was the person.
So
that you
this
want
was
to
eons ago, before he got dragged into like all this shit, right? And I'm watching this, and I joined the live for like a mere minute. And I was like, oh, this is very heartfelt. Like, like initially it was like really, really, really good. And like there were, I forget what the conversation was, but it was like, it was very uplifting. Okay. And then all of a sudden this girl comes in and like, cause they were talking about real shit, like about like homelessness and all this stuff and like what people had gone through. That's what it was. Sorry. And then this younger girl came in, like she probably looked about 23, 24, and these women started dogpiling her, being like, how the fuck do you know what it feels like? Blah, 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 blah. And I'm just like, holy shit. I dropped down immediately. And I sent him a message. I said, dude, that was honestly one of the best lives, like at that point, that I'd ever seen. And can you imagine being that young girl? Because they're like, you're so young, this and that. Like, it was bad. And he let it happen. And he's like, I never even, like, thank you. He actually said, thank you for letting me know. And then, like, I meet a different Amino, like, down the road. I'm like, this is shitty. Because seriously, because I know that man has a good heart. I know he does. So, Doses, anyways, anything more, girl?
No, guys, don't. No
aside from his and I's issues that we had, I will say that he is capable of having a good heart. However, we butt our heads. He did what he did. It wasn't cool. I'm upset.
You guys have had your differences, and that's okay.
And really, I blame more like all his allies, that like the absorbed ones and the fucking Zens and all these ones. The minute, because he did his apology tour to me, I accepted it. Everyone left me alone. And the minute it was again, then they all started attacking me again. So my issue was more with, like Blitz was saying, everybody else. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like
I'm
he
just
was completely different. He was completely freaking different. And then when, like, he got dragged in, the thing is, he doesn't, like, he failed to have a backbone when he needed one, but I think we've all been there where we're just like, what the fuck is going on? But I can promise you 1000%, I was there. I know how weird that is, but I was there when he was holding lives that actually meant something, man. And like, he would actually listen and didn't freaking, like, the first time I met him, I sent him a DM as opposed to like putting it in the live. I said, like, what the fuck just happened? Like, that girl was just like basic. I didn't say dogpiled because I didn't even know what the fuck that word was at the time.
Me neither.
Like, but that's not what I said, but I still remember that. I was so upset for her. And he's like, thank you. He's like, I know. And like, I can tell you that man has a good heart. I can tell you that man has a good heart. He just gets dragged into it sometimes. And we all do. And yeah, it is what it is. But that was the point of my story, truly.
Yeah.
So you're not talking shit about him. You're just talking about how.
No, not at all. I was trying. No, the complete opposite, actually.
Okay. Because it's like, yeah, he isn't here to defend himself. But if you're not talking shit about him, then I mean, you just said he has a good heart and like he's a good person. So. Well,
that's why I told that story, was to tell you like when I first met him, and like he was so receptive to like this poor girl that was because he didn't say anything. Right. But he was hosting the live and I was very new to it. This was a couple of years ago, I would say at this point. And this was way before all the bullshit with like, I didn't even know who Isaac was. I didn't know who any of these fucking people were. Okay.
Me too.
And I still remember Aminal because I'm like, does that say animal or aminal?
And you probably still say aminal when you want to say the word animal.
But I'm telling you, like, there was like whatever people are fucking saying, like, I'm going to disagree because I still remember the day that he was just like, you're right. And then he actually, like, he just needs a backbone. That's all he needed, right? Like, and it's hard hosting lives. They're not easy to do. They're not.
Well, and a couple years ago, it was kind of new for a lot of people to be hosting debate lives because I'm sure before that, a lot of people weren't really talking about politics and social issues as much. And then the pandemic happened, and that brought a lot of people onto social media and talking about these things. So, like, not a lot of people really knew how to. I mean, I hosted a lot of debate lives, and I didn't really know how to confront certain situations. Sometimes I would just freeze and listen and be like, oh, like, and then I'd reach out to someone after and be like, yo, I should have said something. I didn't know what to say. I'm really sorry. I'll make sure to correct that next time. And
during the
you
pandemic,
learn as you go.
We
Maybe
weren't
that was
allowed
during
to
that
talk
time.
about the pandemic because
Doses, I don't think anyone's talking bad about him at all. I think we're all just talking about, like, she just talking about the first time she met him. And she said he had a good heart and he's a good person.
If you would have listened.
Don't be so snarky.
Are you kidding? Do you know who I'm talking to? Don't even.
I know. My stomach is growling like crazy. Did you hear that?
I'm in my rubber duck onesie fighting with fucking doses. What you gonna do?
Did you eat today, Isabel?
Yeah, I ate today. I don't even know. I just had a falafel rice bowl with a lot of. They put way too much fucking spinach in it though, so I think maybe that's just
This
digesting
app
weird.
isn't good for debates. Fuck, you know where I torture myself lately is beaver politics.
Why would you do
I
something
just
like
go
that
in
to
there
yourself?
and I lose brain cells. And Zen and her husband were having a live about homelessness the other day. And I'm down in the comments as myself stating facts about shit, right? But like, there's no way they would take my advice. So this guy got up on the panel and he explained his issues with mass migration, being that we already have a housing crisis. And right away, they drop him, call him a racist, etc.
The fuck?
Yeah. And I'm like, dude is fucking right. I could go on and on, being that I'm from the big city and I know the homelessness issue.
Do they realize that, like,
Sammy Sourdog in regards to dealing with it for decades and finding homes for people and shit. And I see what's happening in the shelter systems, and I see migrants that get a above priority when you wait 10 years for subsidized housing, and you're a domestic violence survivor or this or homeless or whatever, and these people are prioritized over you. So now you've been on the list 4 years. You call and you're like, where am I on the list? Oh, you're still at 10 years. Why? Because these buildings are filling up with people that were fucking shipped in here the past 3 fucking years. So don't tell me nothing. But, racism.
But, like, it's weird that their minds go to race and skin color when you say immigrant, because not all immigrants and migrants are, like, there's a lot of people that are white that come into this country too.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not the only country that has white people in it. So, like, you can be an immigrant from America. You can be an immigrant from Europe. You can be an immigrant from Ukraine. From fucking Iceland. So why is your mind going to, like, why do their minds immediately go to skin color when you're talking about, like, a much bigger issue? It's not even about skin color. It's about the influx of people, especially when they're illegal.
Well, that's the thing. My condo
Not vetted.
downtown had different levels, so geared to income, native housing, like whatever. It's multi, but you can't have like a really good income. You have to be a certain level of income, like right down to being on social services, right? And it's a beautiful condo. And during the beginning of Ukraine, there was 3 apartments that went empty that were subsidized, so the lowest, right? And I knew the maintenance man. We were buds. I used to give him green gummies all the time and all that. The property manager, right? And all 3 units were given to fucking Ukrainians. Not one was given to a homeless person. Not one was given to a Canadian domestic violence abuse person. So,
Like,
these
what the
idiots, like, they want to save the world, but they won't fucking wake up to the realities of fucking...
Say that louder, girl. Scream it.
Another thing I don't quite understand when it comes to people, like the one, especially in America right now, the ones that are protesting to stay in America, and they're like, oh, don't deport us and blah, blah. Why are you flaying around the flags of countries that you escaped from that you don't want to go back to? You should be flying around the American flag if you want to stay in America. If you want to be convincing to stay in America, you should be flying around the nation's flag that you'd rather stay in. You left your country. You don't want to go back to that country, but you're waving that country's flag around.
Have you ever thought about what they were
And burning
told
the
when they were
American
coming
flag.
here, Lisa? Like this is what people don't understand is that we're seeing the side that affects our country, right, and the people around us, but we're not seeing, because they're doing such a great job of keeping us all divided. We're not seeing what they were told. Okay, and this is what a lot of people are not keeping in mind. You've got to see the big picture, and when I say the big picture, you've got to see what is not just in your viewpoint, right? And this is what I'm saying.
Symbolism
Like,
too. If you know symbolism, that shit is a whole nother language on its own.
Absolutely. Yep.
You don't see the world the same once you understand what symbolism
And
is.
when you try and tell people, look, there's been 1 million brought into Canada, they're like, no, impossible, not true. Cite your source, right? Doesn't matter. You're never going to convince them. So I'm not citing sources. I'm not going to educate them. It's like
Google is free. Isn't that
yeah,
what they tell
Google
us?
is free. I can't stand that phrase. And
Like I
but-
genuinely believe they're victims too. I do. Like I genuinely believe a lot of these people.
It's called mass
cognitive
psychosis.
dissonance. Yeah. No,
It's a form-
I
it's
mean
like
the
a
ones that like
brainwashing.
I had a neighbor, really good friends. He came here fucking 20 years ago. He's got 3 wives, a shit ton of kids, works for TTC. Each wife has subsidized housing. Amazing fucking family.
I'll be right back.
Very ingratiated
Hold the
into
fort.
Canada. The kids are free to be what they want to be. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not no fucking racist. Don't tell me shit. He is appalled with what he sees with these other types, right? So the UK is insane. They do it right in front of everybody. So all these people flying are coming on boats, and they have infiltrated multiple hotels, like over 200 hotels in the United Kingdom that are strictly for migrants. The way they fuck around with Canadians is that this is how it works here in Canada is, okay, first of all, the shelter system during the influx, a lot of the homeless were kicked out of the shelter, the Canadian ones, into the tents. That's why you've seen a lot more tents, because they needed those spaces for the migrants. And then the hotels, they still to this day they did a few in Scarborough that were full hotels for migrants. And then it's like people were bitching and complaining. So they got sneaky. Every hotel on the airport strip.
So, babe, can we simplify this for the people that are listening? So basically, sorry, are you okay with that?
No, go ahead.
So basically what she's saying is like the easiest way to gain control over a population that is waking up is to bring people from other countries and give them everything so that they can continue to have control. Am I getting this right?
Yeah, basically. But
It is. It's really that simple, but people don't get it.
so the hotels, right, on the airport strip and the hotels downtown Toronto, right? You as a tourist, you're going to say, I want to go to this 5 or 4-star hotel. And you pay $240, right? But once you arrive at the hotel, or you don't even notice when you go, that 17 floors of that 27-floor hotel is strictly for migrants, paid for by your tax dollars. So you don't know that that's a migrant hotel because you can also be a tourist. You know what I'm saying? In the United Kingdom, it's like right out in the open. So everything is hidden. All these policies that were implemented 4 years ago with the courts, the catch and release, they also made a policy that allowed all a criminal lawyer has to do is say, Your Honor, I want a publication ban. And boom, there's a publication ban. That was never the way it was. It was hard to get a publication ban, and it was not free.
Facts, girl.
Right.
Facts.
Right. And now we're not allowed to know anything because any good lawyer is going to demand a publication
They're all
ban.
bought and paid for. And the only reason that I know this is because I know people. I'm not going to talk about any names or anything because I'm fucking smarter than that. But the reason that I know this is because I know people that have told me how this shit works. If you want to understand how your fucking country works, you need to understand how gangs work. Period. Listen to me. You have to understand how gangs work. They play the long game. They infiltrate. Like, think for a fucking second.
Yep. people would constantly be, oh, spotted. She's always in Zoom court, thinks she's a lawyer, blah, blah, blah. Well, the reason why I was doing Gladue Court, for one, was for a lot of reasons. I'm fascinated by it. For two, I'm an expert in bail court. It fascinates me. That's when you get the synopsis. When I would watch Gladue Court, no more than fucking 25 times since court went to Zoom did I see people I know and like people in my community, the Native community, and I was able to be like, contact their loved one and say, oh shit, so-and-so got arrested last night. So I was doing it as my advocacy for my community, my interest in the bail system, me not wanting to see. Like I would literally, the amount of criminals that know now that you could just say, I identify as female and off to the female jail you go and shit like that, right? But I'm a transphobe.
There's just so much at this point, Spotted. Like, there's just so much. Like, and people are not going to understand until they actually give a fuck. And that is reality.
Until it affects them. See, it's a lot of these people are in buttfuck nowhere. Not all of them, because I don't know where you are. Like, but the majority.
Oh no, I'm smack dab in the city, and I've seen it all. That's why I give a fuck. Because
Exactly.
I have actually talked to these people, and they have like the nice stories that I could tell about people that society writes off. Like that's why I'm so like fuck you. Fuck everybody. It's not about me. It's about what I've seen.
Exactly. I have lived experience. Like I've seen it. Like another thing is back in the day when everybody was attacking me or whatever. I lived in the biggest. I just moved 5 months ago. I've been down in the gay district my entire fucking life where the teepees are. Okay. Now I'm 15 minutes away. Whatever. But I was at the fucking dog park ever since it was built, like 18, 20 years, because I've always had dogs, right? That's the town square. The majority of the people at the dog park are gay, trans, whatever, right? They do not agree with what's going on TikTok. They do not agree with half this bullshit. They do not.
All of this. Yes.
Yeah.
When you actually sit down and talk to people face to face and you get the fuck off the internet, guess what happens?
Have also gone the same way with America, where they were lifelong liberals and they're like, yeah, fuck this, man. Like, I'm either nothing or I'm conservative, but I'm not going liberal or whatever, right? Like, they just see it. And then you tell me that what I'm saying isn't true. Do you hang around the park with these people? No, like, we're a cult in that park. It's like we all know to show up around the same time. It's the same pack of dogs and the same pack of people. And we sit around for hours and we yap. You know what I mean?
But people will not understand that, right? Like, and maybe maybe that was a blessing, but people will not understand that. Like when you hear me screaming and fucking yelling, it's not for me. It's because and I know you can understand this, is because I have seen this shit. And you guys are sitting here pretending like you're fucking better. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm over it. I'm over it. Like, I lose my energy.
I understand the screaming for other people thing. It's not that you're screaming necessarily for yourself, but you could be, but for others as well. It's a level of desperation. It's a passionate desperation to be heard and to you're just fed up. Like that video that I now laugh at, but I laugh at it because it is what it is, but when I was yelling at Trudeau, that fucking left likes to throw in my face all the time and say that I'm crazy because of that. First off, adrenaline is a hell of a drug. Okay. Second off, what flooded through my mind, I'm a very visual person, and all these memories just it's like a door opened and the fucking dam broke or something, and it was I was thinking of all the people that were vaccine injured, all the people that were silenced, the people that lost their jobs, their livelihoods, the people that are homeless now, or the addiction, or how the kids are fucking, a lot of them had to be forced to stay with their abusers through all of that mandated isolation shit, the education stuff, the kids not learning properly and stuff, just everything that happened. And then all that, just even with me, with seeing what's going on with my family too, it all just it just came out, and the anger and the yelling and that adrenaline mixed together. It was I was hurting, not just for me, but for others. And people make fun of that. They like to weaponize that. This is why the liberals are losing. This is why nobody fucking takes them seriously, because they preach about this stuff, but they don't actually show it with their actions. And you know, did I come off really crazy that day? Sure. But you know what's crazier is the fact that so many people fucking comply to this bullshit and they still think that it's okay what happened to everybody. While there's so many people that are dying or dead who are being silenced, made fun of, gaslit, made out to be crazy. Suicide rates went crazy up. Like, domestic violence went up. Fuck. Like, nobody fucking cares. Trafficking went up. Like, that's where all that energy came from. It's just thinking of all the shit that's happened just in the last couple years because of all this bullshit and like knowing what I knew about him and stuff. Did I say some things who I probably shouldn't have said? Maybe. Sure. But I said them. Freedom of expression includes speech.
Yeah.
They say we don't have freedom of speech in Canada. We have freedom of expression. Well, how do you express yourself? You can express yourself through clothes, dance, art, speech.
But there was always like a low key manipulation where it was just like my trigger word my entire life growing up was crazy. Now when people call me crazy, I'm like, can you not be a little bit more like, I don't know, creative? Like, I'm so used to that. I don't give a shit.
I'm just like oh, okay, cool. Define that.
Care.
The word crazy, when people are like, oh, you're crazy for talking about all this stuff. You're crazy for, you know, it's like, I think you're crazy for ignoring it. So, kind of at a standstill here, aren't we?
Oh, I love that. Oh, I love that. Like,
Blondie,
say that again. Say that again.
What did I say again? Fuck.
We're kind of at a standstill, aren't we?
Yeah, something like that.
That was perfect. So, like, who's gonna
Leading
win
to
this
a
time?
duel. You know what I mean? Like, you remember the old day with the duels?
Oh yeah, you think we're crazy for like not complying, and we think you're crazy for ignoring everything that's going on.
Do you believe in a spiritual war?
It's going to be noisy for a few minutes. I'm going to mute for a bit.
Okay. Joshua, I'm sorry, man. People are assholes. Needy, attention-seeking chaos agents with their TikTok pity parties. So, I meant it, though. Like, if you fucking hear something about me, don't run with it. Come to the source. Speak to me about it. Ask questions. Or who you're hearing it from. Maybe ask for some fucking receipts. Oh, do you have proof of that? Do you have an audio clip of that? Do you have anything to show that actually happened?
Oh, I hate that you're still in that mentality, but you'll get out of it. You'll eventually you'll be like, why did I do this? What did I do?
No. Like, I'm just saying, like, that's what I think that those people who are taking this stuff at face value and running with it, those people should be saying those things. If they want to fucking have any credibility at all, or any integrity in any way, shape, or form, if somebody says something crazy to me about somebody else, and it's the first time I'm fucking hearing it, and I've never seen or heard nothing, like, even if it's not the first time I've heard about it, I'm going to try and, I do ask them, like, do you have a clip of that? Do you have something to show me? I'm not going to just sit there and run with it. If I didn't hear it directly from that person's mouth, or I didn't see the actual evidence of it, I'm just going to be like, I'm going to look into that, I guess.
You know what I learned today, and I'm not going to say any names, that there's a lot of people that don't want certain people to connect. And again, I'm not going to say any names. I've had 2 messages today about people who are talking about people sliding into people's DMs saying, you don't be friends with this person. One person said to a friend of mine, you can't be friends with this person or we're done. Like, who the fuck? And like the second one was dudes. What? Like, excuse me?
I've had people message my friends and my support being like, oh my God, you're hanging out with Lisa Balla. Do you know all about this stuff? And they say all these things. And it's like, those people, if we've been hanging out for a while, chances are we're probably talking off app, and they get to ask me these questions to clarify stuff, and I get to clarify things too, and they get to hear where I'm coming from. And then they come to their own conclusion to realize, oh, yeah, no, that's not at all what you think. That's not at all what you believe in. Like, what these people are saying about you does not line up at all with what you're showing me and what you're telling me.
Between you and I, like, even like in DMs, have we ever like shit talked people or like tried to down people or just vent?
It's more or less being shocked at certain things and then trying to help each other just try to like wrap our heads around it.
Yeah, but it's always been like from day one there was a lot of venting, right? Like
Of course there's going to be venting, and when somebody's
Of course,
venting,
but
that's
it was
your
never,
opportunity
like-
just to
it
let
was never
out.
like telling you what to do or like freaking like it's like holy shit, this is
No.
what happened to me. Like it
The only times you told me what to do is when when we were not doing so good, and you'd be like, "Oh, you shut up now," you know, like we just weren't doing so good. There was times where we were like,
Oh
off.
no, the amount of people that I told to fuck off and shut the fuck up would blow
It's
your
like-
mind.
keep going. I'm like, I'm not going though. You're going.
keep it up, keep
I
it
don't
up.
know.
Oh no, because I was at the point that was exactly when I need, like, when I say like I short circuited and had nothing to do with like the human part, like I can't even explain it.
There was
to
like a
this day.
detachment there. I was like, Sarah, where's this coming
Completely, but I needed everybody the fuck away from me.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't realize it until after I'd gotten out of that. I was just like, I need, like, I get vicious, I guess. Like, I don't know, it was bad. It was
happens?
bad, and I will own that 100. It was bad, but it was always private. And I know, like, I never said names, but again, I will even, yeah, anyway.
Doses.
There she is.
Oh my gosh. Y'all need to have your little scrappers in the
Oh my god, here we go. You see?
brood. My mic out. I have to charge my phone, so.
You know what? To a degree, you're right.
What should I? She's come up here, Doses, and you guys can just like scrap it out and then laugh it off.
We're not, like, everybody thinks we're not even fighting.
No. Are you guys just picking on each other? Is it like
Yes. I've always said she's my little fucking sister from day one.
Interesting you found it offensive.
I'm like, hold up. I'm like, ah.
I
See,
didn't
you
know
don't
where you were
listen.
coming-
She wasn't
I'm
even
reading
fucking
text in my own tone here, so I don't know how to take it. I don't know.
Don't worry about it. Honestly, don't worry about it.
Okay.
Interesting that you found it offensive.
Oh my god, you guys are ridiculous. Can I put you guys in a get along t-shirt?
Oh dear.
Doses, you can come up if you want.
She's like, fuck that bitch. She has no backbone.
I don't know what's going on between you two. I'm just here.
I have no idea either. She's
I feel like such a floater. I will.
No,
intend.
honestly, girl, I have no idea. None.
I don't know
Zero.
either. I have no idea what's going on. But I mean,
I think that she said that because I said that about Aminol, but I wasn't trying to be mean. Because you weren't listening, as per usual, but whatever.
you guys do fight like sisters.
I told you, y'all don't fucking listen either.
Because you're both like spicy, but you both laugh a lot. I don't know.
You're the little sister, bitch. Don't even fucking fuck around, yo.
Aren't you guys like the same age?
No, not even close. But I'm not gonna anyway. So, what's the next conversation? Blondie, how you doing, babe?
Yeah, how's Blondie doing? You can come up too if you want to. I know you don't go live very often, but if you feel like it, you can. You can turn your live status off and then nobody will know that you're live. Unless they're already watching, obviously.
Hold up, you can do that?
Yeah, so if you go down along the bottom, you know where it has the two little people that are grayed out with the plus sign or whatever? Like where you would normally like request. Click on that. Click on live settings. And then you can turn
Live stat- yeah,
live
okay, yeah.
status. And then you can turn it off. And then it won't show up. Like if someone goes to your profile, it won't show that you're live.
Shut the front door.
But if you're hosting, obviously you can't turn that off. But if you're
But if
on
people are
panel.
following, will it, like, you know, like at the top, will it show up?
No.
Fuck,
It turns your status off so you don't have the little pink ring around your thing. So it helps when you like are wanting to go into a live, but you don't want like all your fucking troll haters to follow you.
Like
Maybe you're in a
today.
debate live or something.
Yeah, just now I made sure I was not private. And so everybody knows I'm in here. and that was intentional.
She's like, I have to announce myself. Y'all need to know we're live.
That was
It's Friday tomorrow already. Like the fuck this week. Do you guys feel like the weeks have been going by so fast lately?
Yeah, for the past like year. Actually, no, about 5 years. Yep.
I don't know if it's because we're getting older and like time just goes by quicker, or if it's like it's I don't know. It's weird. It feels like
Why don't you unalive already?
What?
Nothing.
What?
No, I'm laughing. I'm laughing. This is like time is like, why don't you freaking unalive already?
Are you talking about time?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It just came out of nowhere. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, I do that.
I was like, bitch.
That's me.
I'm gonna live until I'm old as fuck.
My whole life, like, I'm not even kidding
That's
you.
just like,
I
get off
used to
my
run
lawn.
through life.
I understand now. Like, so my sister used to collect treasure trolls when we were kids. That was like her little collectible thing. And my grandmother had gotten her one that had a t-shirt on it. Like, and it said, the older we get, the better we used to be. And I never understood what that meant. And now I get it.
But like, in what sense? Because you couldn't pay me $1 million to go back in time. Still to this day.
It's meaning like the older that you get, the better you used to be. Meaning like, I think it's more of a like, the older you get, the more sick of people and everyone's shit that you get. So you get a bit more harder and a little bit more like.
Oh my gosh, I need to send you a song. It's one of my favorite songs. Girl.
You start off soft in life and you work your way and you kind of become harder.
you think about like, okay, the whole song is about, it's called the Sunscreen song. And it's all about like.
Oh, I know that one. I have it.
Yeah. So that whole song, I need you to really listen to the lyrics. So
I have. Trust me.
Yeah, but that's exactly what you're talking about. That's exactly what you're talking about. So, like, when you get older, you wish that you could freaking be younger. Remember that you were
I'll play it, right?
ugly or fat as you were. Like, trust me, that's
play
all.
My one that I could never understand until I got older was about friends, like old are silver, new are gold. I'm like, why would the new ones be gold? Like the old ones should be gold, right? And then it occurred to me.
Nope.
Makes perfect sense.
Oh gosh, if 2020 wasn't a freaking wake up call, then nothing else should have been.
I'm gonna play that Sunscreen song quick, so we're having a little.
Oh, do it! Oh, I love it. I haven't heard it in quite a while. Love it.
All right, so
okay, everybody,
mute up. Having a little life lesson. Wait.
Ladies and gentlemen of the class of 99, wear sunscreen.
Is that too loud? Are we good?
If I could offer you only one tip for the future, sunscreen would be it. The long-term benefits of sunscreen have been proved by scientists, whereas the rest of my advice has no basis more reliable than my own meandering experience. I will dispense this advice now. Enjoy the power and beauty of your youth. Never mind, you will not understand the power and beauty of your youth until they've faded. But trust me, in 20 years you'll look back at photos of yourself and recall in a way you can't grasp now how much possibility lay before you and how fabulous you really looked. You are not as fat as you imagine. Don't worry about the future. Or worry, but know that worrying is as effective as trying to solve an algebra equation by chewing bubble gum. The real troubles in your life are apt to be things that never crossed your worried mind. The kind that blindside you at 4 p.m. on some idle Tuesday. Do one thing every day that scares you. Sing. Don't be reckless with other people's hearts. Don't put up with people who are reckless with yours. Floss. Don't waste your time on jealousy. Sometimes you're ahead, sometimes you're behind. The race is long, and in the end, it's only with yourself. Remember compliments you receive. Forget the insults. If you succeed in doing this, Tell me how. Keep your old love letters. Throw away your old bank statements. Stretch. Don't feel guilty if you don't know what you want to do with your life. The most interesting people I know didn't know at 22 what they wanted to do with their lives. Some of the most interesting 40-year-olds I know still don't. Get plenty of calcium. Be kind to your knees. You'll miss them when they're gone. Maybe you'll marry, maybe you won't. Maybe you'll have children, maybe you won't. Maybe you'll divorce at 40. Maybe you'll dance the funky chicken on your 75th wedding anniversary. Whatever you do, don't congratulate yourself too much, or berate yourself either. Your choices are half chance. So are everybody else's. Enjoy your body. Use it every way you can. Don't be afraid of it or what other people think of it. It's the greatest instrument you'll ever own. Dance. Even if you have nowhere to do it but in your own living room. Read the directions even if you don't follow them. Do not read beauty magazines. They will only make you feel ugly.
Brother and sister together will make it through. Someday a spirit will take you and guide you there. I know you've been hurting, but I've been waiting to be there for you. And I'll be there just helping you out whenever I can.
Get to know your parents. You never know when they'll be gone for good. Be nice to your siblings. They're your best link to your past and the people most likely to stick with you in the future. Understand that friends come and go, but with a precious few, you should hold on. Work hard to bridge the gaps in geography and lifestyle, because the older you get, the more you need the people you knew when you were young. Live in New York City once, but leave before it makes you hard. Live in Northern California once, but leave before it makes you soft. Travel. Accept certain inalienable truths. Prices will rise. Politicians will philander. You too will get old. And when you do, you'll fantasize that when you were young, prices were reasonable, politicians were noble, and children respected their elders. Respect your elders. Don't expect anyone else to support you. Maybe you have a trust fund, maybe you'll have a wealthy spouse, but you never know when either one might run out. Don't mess too much with your hair, or by the time you're 40, it will look 85. Be careful of whose advice you buy, but be patient with those who supply it. Advice is a form of nostalgia. Dispensing it is a way of fishing the past from the disposal, wiping it off, painting over the ugly parts, and recycling it for more than it's worth. But trust me on the sunscreen.
Brother and sister together will make it through.
And I think it just does the chorus a couple times.
Someday a spirit will take you and
Yeah, that was cool. Okay, that gave me that was really cool. I'd never heard that before. My grandparents on my mom's side were both blind, right? So my grandma was big into radio. And this was in 1965, so I've got something I want to play. You might know it, but I want you to, people who are listening, this is so fitting for the times, the current times, but this was a radio recording in 1965, so I'm going to play it now. Oh, fuck sakes.
This girl can belt it out. She's still going. I think this is like a remake of that song where it's so good.
If I were the devil, if I were the devil, and I'd have a third of its real estate and 4/5 of its population, but I wouldn't be happy until I had seized the ripest apple on the tree. So I'd set about, however necessary, to take over the United States. I'd subvert the churches first. I'd begin with a campaign of whispers. With the wisdom of a serpent, I would whisper to you as I whispered to Eve, do as you please. To the young, I would whisper that the Bible is a myth. I would convince them that man created God instead of the other way around. I would confide that what's bad is good and what's good is square. And the old I would teach to pray after me, Our Father, which art in Washington. And then I'd get organized. I'd educate authors in how to make lurid literature exciting so that anything else would appear dull and uninteresting. I'd threaten TV with dirtier movies and vice versa. I'd peddle narcotics to whom I could. I'd sell alcohol to ladies and gentlemen of distinction. I'd tranquilize the rest with pills. If I were the devil, I'd soon have families at war with themselves, churches at war with themselves, and nations at war with themselves, until each in its turn was consumed. And with promises of higher ratings, I'd have mesmerizing media fanning the flames. If I were the devil, I would encourage schools to refine young intellects, but neglect to discipline emotions. Just let those run wild. Until before you knew it, you'd have to have drug-sniffing dogs and metal detectors at every schoolhouse door. Within a decade, I'd have prisons overflowing. I'd have judges promoting pornography. Soon I could evict God from the courthouse, then from the schoolhouse, and then from the houses of Congress. And in his own churches, I would substitute psychology for religion and deify science. I would lure priests and pastors into misusing boys and girls and church money. If I were the devil, I'd make the symbol of Easter an egg and the symbol of Christmas a bottle. If I were the devil, I'd take from those who have and give to those who wanted, until I had killed the incentive of the ambitious. And what'll you bet? I couldn't get whole states to promote gambling as the way to get rich. I would caution against extremes in hard work, in patriotism, in moral conduct. I would convince the young that marriage is old-fashioned, that swinging is more fun, that what you see on TV is the way to be. And thus I could undress you in public, and I could lure you into bed with diseases for which there is no cure. In other words, if I were the devil, I'd just keep right on doing what he's doing.
Fucking wild, eh? 1965.
That's so relevant to what's happening right now. Like we're living that right now. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Who was that? I've heard that. Who was that?
It's Paul Harvey.
Okay.
I've heard that. No, I've
Yeah.
heard the exact. I've heard that.
There's some beautiful, like, people have been using it as of late and turning it, like, you could go to YouTube and find much more clear versions. I just did the radio one.
Yeah.
And they do, like, videos on YouTube to, like, it'll show graphics to go with this 1965 radio recording.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's so much stuff, even like watching old movies and shit, sci-fi movies. I was never into sci-fi movies because I wasn't really like into all that stuff. But like now, I'm kind of like paying more attention to clips from them. I'm like, holy fuck, they're telling us everything.
Yeah, beam me up, Scotty. Like, you can literally beam people up now. And the cellular phone was on fucking Star Trek. Like, what the fuck? Or whatever those shows were.
And like the robot shit, you know,
Yep.
that's going on, like the mouse robot stuff and like microchips in your brain. Being able
That
to
one,
read
though,
people's
that
minds.
one I just played is like, it's there isn't a, how would he have known, like 1965, like sexual diseases that were with no cure and
But girl, they always knew. The thing is that they did a very good
Predictive
job
programming.
of brainwashing the children.
Called
They
predictive
always
programming.
knew.
Predictive programming is what it is. And that's why
Yes.
your TV is called television programming. TV programming. Television
Yep.
programming.
you know, Blitz, like
want to be
The
free?
way the
Turn your TV off.
public school system always has been was to indoctrinate and brainwash and whatever. Fine.
And it was
But
to also
nowhere-
bring the both parents out of the fucking household too, so the government could have control over
Yeah,
raising
exactly. And it's like, especially the last few years, it's like I cannot be more grateful that my kids went to First Nation school and not to the public schools of today, man. Fuck.
Oh, thank fucking God.
Hi, Dosa. I'm going to
Hello.
mute you.
Hello.
How's your day going? Oh dear. Should I mute so you guys can work out your differences?
I don't need to work anything out.
I don't know. If we're not fighting, then I don't know what's going on.
No, I proved my point in the chat. I literally stated verbatim. Oh,
You didn't listen to the whole story. I knew exactly what you